Hello there, it's Andy Ewens from FormaServe once again. In this short how-to on IBM I video set, we'll be taking a look at MariaDB. One of the cutting-edge recent additions from IBM for their open source offerings is MariaDB. In my opinion, this is a great addition and will open the IBM I up to even more applications that are readily available now on our IBM I. Who is Maria? Maria is a replacement for MySQL. It's open source and it is developed by the original MySQL developers. It is one of the most popular database servers in the world. MariaDB is used because it's fast, scalable and robust. It is a community developed branch of MySQL, and you will notice many of the commands use the MySQL naming convention. And yes, MariaDB even has temporal support, just like our own DB2. Quick plug there for my video called It's About Time, temporal support for DB2 on IBM I. So how do we install MariaDB? Nice and easy. Either use yum from a shell session or access for client solutions, ACS. Let me show you the yum command for the install. Yum install MariaDB and MariaDB-server. I already have it installed on my box, so I'll just see if there's any updates. And using ACS, let me show you the two packages we need there, MariaDB and MariaDB-server. So what next? We need to configure it. If you need any further details on open source management, take a look at the videos I've done. Also, there's some excellent PowerWire articles on this topic. Once Yum has installed the packages, we need to open a shell session with QSecOffer authority. Once your shell session is open, run the MariaDB setup procedure by running mysql_install_db --user equals MySQL. Once this is complete, the next step is to set the root password. And we do that by running mysql admin with the -u flag, root and the password ABC123. Next we need to issue the grant command authority to apply the appropriate permissions. Once again, in a shell session, we can use the following command: mysql -u root -p, and that will prompt us for our password. So we key that in, good old ABC123, and then we grant root authority. So we grant all privileges on *** to root at percentage identified by and the password ABC123. With this command we have told MariaDB to grant the privileges of type all. These privileges are for databases and it applies to all the tables of that database, which is indicated by the ***. These privileges are assigned to username root when that username is connected through all the IP addresses as specified by @%. Configuring the MariaDB server. Before starting the database server, we need to ensure it is running on the correct IP address and the correct port number. Let me switch over to Visual Studio Code. The file my.cnf holds the configuration. This is held in QOpenSys, etc, MariaDB, and then we can see the my.cnf file. So we double click on that to open it up. And we specify at the bottom, in square brackets, mysqld bind -address equals 0.0.0.0. So that will listen on all IP addresses. By default it uses port 3306. If that port is in use by your corporate network, you can change it here also. So how do we start the MariaDB server? Once we have all the configuration and that has been completed, now we start the server. We run the command from a shell session once again. The command for this is mysqld_safe with the flags ---- data dir equals qopenSys var lib MariaDB and data. Once this has run, it will tie up the command. Beware, if you close this, it will stop the database from running. Once we are happy with the testing, it would be a lot better to submit the starting of this server as a batch job. The command for this would be submit job, starting the Q shell command, and the command is qopenSys pkgs bin, and exactly the same, mysql_safe, and the same flags ---- data directory equals qopenSys var lib MariaDB data, and give it a decent job name. Start Maria. Sounds good. Just to make sure everything's running okay, we can check the error log. This is under qopenSys, the lib directory, and there we can see it, galatea.local.formaserve.com.err. And that is the error log for this server. And we can see down the bottom there is ready for connections, all ready to go. If you only trust 5250 sessions, you can check it out by running the netstat *cnn command and looking for port 3306. And here we can see it on our server 3306. So that server's all up and running. Or we could look for the job in work active job. The server job will run by default in the Q user work subsystem. QP0Z SPWT, and we can see it's running there, the program mysqld. If you ever need to stop the server for any reason, we run the command mysqladmin -u flag root -p, which prompt for the password, and shutdown. So here we can see this is asking for my password ABC123, and that will stop it. Now we have Maria database installed, how do we go about using it? Firstly, we need a database client to access it. Loads and loads of options out there. I'll be using dBeaver as I've used it before and I love the name. dBeaver can be downloaded from https dbeaver.io, so we install it from there. When we first open dBeaver, we need to create a database connection to our IBM I. This is achieved by clicking on this nice little icon up there, which will create a new connection. So now we can see the input panels to connect to database. So our server name there is Galatea. We can see the default port there, as we said, 3306. We put in our username and our password and get it to save locally. It's best to test out the connection while we're here using the button down the bottom. That all looks good. And now we press finish. And now we can see our Maria database on our IBM I. So now we have our database server running and a client that connects to it. So let me create a database and put a couple of tables within it. All very easy using the Beaver. I have taken an SQL script from the MariaDB site that will create these objects for us. Let me explain this script in Visual Studio Code. Firstly, we create a database called FormaServe, if it doesn't exist. We then create a table called books, as well as authors and series. So 3 tables into our database. We then insert 7 rows into the books table. Nothing fancy, but it will prove our installation and our database are functioning as we want them to. Let's get back to the Beaver. Use Control square bracket to open a new SQL window. Paste that in there. Then Alt and X to execute that script. Before it runs, I'll get a warning that the server properties state this is a production server. Yes, I know. Nice touch from the Beaver. Using the connection properties, we can change this if we need to. Now the script has run, we have to commit the changes using this button here. We refresh the screen. That should bring up our FormaServe database now. And we highlight our books table and press F4. And voila, our 7 records we inserted can be seen. Let me show you how easy it is to also use MariaDB from a command line interface. In a shell session, we log into Maria. Use the command mysql -u root as the user and -p to prompt for the password. We are now into our database. Remember, this database is case sensitive, so if you're typing anything in, get the case right. Let me change over to the PowerWire database using the PowerWire command. Don't forget to use semicolons at the end of each SQL statement. Us RPG programmers are getting used to that now. Then we list the tables in the database by using the show tables command. And here we can see those 3 tables. Let me list out the books by using a simple SQL select statement. All standard stuff here. Select asterisk from books, semicolon. 7 records in the books table. Then we're all done, so we type in exit to exit Maria. Bye Maria. Before we wrap up this video, let me recap on what we've achieved. We installed the Maria database on our IBM I, either by using yum or ACS. We configure it to allow all access to the root user. We showed you how to start and stop the server, both in a shell and 5250. We installed a database client and run a script to create a database with some tables and inserted a few rows of data into them. And also showed you how to access the data directly from a shell session. Still having problems saying that. And that is it. We now have installed and used a Maria database on the IBM I. This really does open a wealth of applications we can now use. Clients are well happy with this one. The commands and any extra bump I've used during this video are all listed on our GitHub repository, which can be found at github.com/andyewens/f_learning. I'll put that link in the description for you. And that wraps up this quick video. Thank you for watching our How To on IBM I video set. I hope you found them useful. Keep checking our website, learning.formaserve.co.uk, and our YouTube channel. We regularly add new ones. Stay safe and see you soon.